Hi Sagittarius, and this is your reading for March 2023. I have already shuffled and meditated on your cards, so we can get into it. I'm Noelle, and I am all things Sagittarius with you guys, because Sagittarius is awesome. Anyways, let's get right into reading. If anybody wants a personal reading, I am going to put a link in the bio, so feel free to email me and we'll get something worked out. Also, follow me on TikTok because I think I've actually uncovered or found a system of divination that, to my knowledge, no one else has ever done. So if you want to check that out on TikTok, I'm talking about that a little bit there. But if you're interested in it, just message me too, and I'm testing it out now, so you can. I'm bouncing some ideas back and forth, people. Okay, but your main energy. We have the Nine of Wands, which Wands is fire, and Nine of Wands is the energy of being just tired and like at your wits' end. Like, look at her face. She's like, oh my god. She's like all bandaged up and stuff, and she's over it. She's been fighting for like a while, and she's been persevering, and she's ready for struggle to be gone. So, and I know that you poor Sagittarius have gone through some shenanigans for like a minute. It has been a while. You've had a lot of craziness in your astrology in your lives, all that good stuff. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm getting from your past. I have the Page of Swords from your past leading up to where you are now, which is tired and annoyed and ready to not be going through this shenanigans anymore. You have the Page of Swords, and then you have the Fool. And this can be interpreted a couple of different ways. But basically what I'm seeing is some kind of relationship where I feel like this person was you guys were maybe not exclusive, but I mean, you may as well have been. There didn't seem to be anyone else in this person's life besides you, but I feel like they did not invest very much in you. It was a small investment, and they kind of justified that by saying things like, "Hey, like I'm not with anybody else. I'm just with you," and sometimes those things can kind of be like sneaky, and like sometimes we believe it because it sounds logical. We're like, well, okay, yeah. It's like this person just likes me. We're exclusive pretty much, but then they're not really investing what they need to be investing in you to get the relationship they claim they want. Okay, and this is what happens with you when that happens. This is my feeling, because let me show you the cards that are mirroring you. So, as above, so below, and a lot of times this is mirroring your present energy. And a lot of times when something is quote unquote below this, a lot of times this card, this idea is just something that you might not be consciously aware of. It doesn't mean you're not, but a lot of times that is the case. Okay, so you have the Nine of Wands. You're tired. You've been investing in this person for a while, and I feel like it wasn't enough for you, and you said, "I'm done. Like, I like you too much, and if you're not gonna invest in me like I'm investing in you, I just don't think that we should move on any further." So I do feel like you decided to kind of like start new. So that's why I feel like the Fool's here. I mean, it could be the other way around, but I don't really get that for your energy. So you have the Ten of Wands. And this is like, I mean, this is perfect sequential order, because this is right after Nine of Wands. And this is when Nine of Wands is tired. Ten of Wands is, they can't hold on anymore. Like, that's too much. They are just literally, they're breaking their back with responsibilities, and regardless if they're real or real or not, like you're taking on the problems of the people around you, regardless if they're asking you to, regardless if you feel like obligated, it's happening for some reason. And of course, there's lots of different strategies out there, and there's going to be a lot of different reasons why you guys do that. But I do know, just general of them, that you guys are pretty much overgivers. And sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not. So I think that you guys don't always realize that you're doing it because you enjoy doing it a lot, especially in the beginning. Like, it's like, I think it's in your nature to want to just do a lot. So you don't look at it like you're making a sacrifice. You're looking at it as like something that you really want to do. And then as the relationship moves forward and you're still putting in 150%, and there might just be putting in like 70 or 80, it starts to look and feel really out of balance. Which I'm not saying it's not, but it's like this person is giving a little bit not enough, and you're maybe giving too much. So it looks like it's more out of balance than it needs to be sometimes, because this is what you have subconsciously. You have the 8 of coins, and this is working. This is working hard. I mean, I consider this like in a career reading, I would consider this like the craftsman, like somebody that knows what they're doing. So this person like doesn't have to mess around, like doesn't mess things up, is very authoritative, like isn't an apprentice anymore. This person knows what they're doing. They're competent. They have a lot to offer. They have a lot to give. It's like, I almost said you're like a professional in relationships, but that's not really, no, that probably didn't work in this. Just kidding. Okay, but you're good at you're good at relationships. You're nurturing. You're a good partner. So that's what I mean. But okay, and let me tell you something else. That this is the feeling that I'm getting on this read. So this, instead of, I think that all Saggies right now that are like feeling kind of like they've repeated the cycle again, like, oh my God, like why do I keep ending up here? Like I keep ending up in these relationships where I'm giving so much more than I'm receiving, and it seems so out of balance. And I think that it's important to you to have reciprocity, especially as we get older and we have more relationships. It's like, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is ridiculous. So for one, I think it's really important that we take a look at our own behavior, because sometimes we lead the relationship out doing this, and we like, it's kind of like an unspoken, I'm not going to say contract, but it's just something that you start to do because you enjoy it. I mean, Sagittariuses are such like giving, loving, generous people, and they are so good. They're very social. You enjoy doing things for the person you love, and you're just so smart, and so you're good at this. You really think about the things that they would want and need and anticipate stuff, and you like that. It's like, it's fun for you. So you're really just like loving and generous, and you're doing all this stuff because you like it and you like this person. So it feels good to do that. But, and I mean, I understand, I'm Sagittarius too. But you have to, I think sometimes we have to pull back on our want to do that, even in the beginning, because it creates dynamics. Because I think this is what happens. I think you go so overboard giving, and then even if the other person that you're with is also giving an adequate amount in the beginning, I think it's possible that there wouldn't be a way for them to compete in the like arena of generosity and just, of giving with you, because I just think that you guys are real close to the top in doing that. So it's almost not fair. Like, so we kind of have to tone it down in the beginning, because again, we don't want to set a standard. We don't want to set a precedence that we're not going to be able to like live up to or get out from underneath, or that's going to create like tension or like insecurity in the relationship, especially in the beginning. And I'm I am really bad about it too. I have to really really be conscious of it. Like, I have to like consciously not give and do things that I want to do, because I'm like, this is not going to end well. This is going to go over to the unhealthy stage at some point later. But so I think that that's what happens. And then sometimes that in itself can kind of trigger some like anxious avoidant issues in the partner. But even if that's not what it is, and then you see that the relationship is becoming imbalanced, whether it just be in like investment in feelings, like putting forth effort for dates, things like that. And then if you see that your partner is not returning or not matching your energy, you're like, well, okay, I'm really trying to go for reciprocity in my relationships right now. And then so instead of like having two people that are meeting kind of in the middle, you just retract your energy on the physical plane. So it now you're like, okay, well, I'm matching their energy. I'm not overgiving, but you've taken like this expansive energy that you love to give, and you've like reeled it back in, and you're like, okay, so now on the surface it looks like reciprocity, when you're kind of unsatisfied because you feel like you're taking a step backwards. You don't have as much. So now that you're not giving so much, you don't have as many dates with this person, you don't talk as much. So now the relationship is starting to become less satisfying, but it's reciprocal. It looks a lot more reciprocal, and they're not noticing it as much because they don't tend to put in the kind of effort you do. And it's somebody that, and Sagittarius, you guys definitely need people for relationships that are willing to go the extra mile, and not somebody that like needs a medal for doing like bare minimum. I mean, you need someone else that's like excited about like anticipating the things that you want and wants you to be happy and wants you to have all these things. Like, you do need somebody that has a bigger, like more fuller spirit, and like wants those same things with you. So then you're with this person and you've retracted the energy, the relationship's less satisfying, and it's like that's just not the kind of reciprocal energy you want. But that's kind of how I feel that went. That's my guess. That's what I feel like the cards are saying. So it is also your challenge, though. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's weird. I didn't even like look at this. I mean, I said that. Ooh. I'm trying to remember what pile went here. One went here and one went here. Okay, this was yeah, this is your future. This is good. We'll look at your future in a minute. This is, wow. Okay, why would I not have, you have 2 4s in your self-image. I like this. Huh. That's awesome, actually. Okay, so your self-image, how you see yourself. I have the 4 of Swords, and I love this card. This card is just about contemplation. Like, you're taking some time right now to actually think. And for Sagittarius, I know that's hard, because you guys always want to just do it. You're just like, all right, let's go, let's do this. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take some time and reflect on what is going on in relationships that these patterns continue to repeat. And I feel like I'm giving more, I have stronger feelings, relationships end up not feeling balanced, like I'm not getting what I need in return, and it's just over and over again. So I think that you're really taking the time to contemplate like what you need to do in order to have the kind of relationship that you want. And I actually have an idea for you that I will tell you in a minute. It has to do with my card system. Anyways, but you also have the 4 of Wands, which I call this the marriage card. I think a lot of people do. So I think that you are in a time in your life where you're ready for a relationship, and you might even be ready to like get married, or you just know that you're ready to be in a committed relationship and you're ready for a long-term partner. And when you know that, it's silly to just date around. It's not satisfying, and you need to do what's right for you. And I know that's hard because we let other people do that, but you guys just don't do that as much. You have to like really think of the things you want, and I think that you're doing that right now, because this is your environment energy, and it's the Devil. So it makes a lot of sense, especially if I feel like you were maybe dating somebody that was maybe a little bit younger because of their energy. They're just, they weren't investing as much as they should have, and they didn't really act like it was a big deal, or like they thought they just didn't act like it should be a concern. They're like, look, I mean, everything's fine. This is just how it goes. And so that's, I mean, it could be, the person could have been like a manipulator, a narcissistic, somebody that maybe had some addiction issues. I mean, it could be any number of those things, but I think your environment became toxic because of the imbalance. Like, the person might be a really awesome person, but when a relationship gets imbalanced like that, it takes on like narcissistic traits, manipulative traits, things like that. So you might be in a relationship that, because of the dynamics, has actually, that looks, feels, and may as well just be very narcissistic, very anxious, avoidant, just like developing all these quote unquote like cluster B personality disorders that normally come from like relational trauma when you're young, can just happen because of dynamics become out of balance. So this person might be awesome, but it's just like, because they weren't in the same space as you, and they weren't giving what you deserved, sometimes they just take on these really toxic qualities. And I feel like that's very possible what could have happened. Because, and like your advice card, this is like fighting, this is like bickering. And I say that I think this person is younger because, well, for one, it's Paige, and for two, it's like little, like small investments, and then just very argumentative. And that's like characteristic of, probably a little bit younger, more emotionally mature person. And so instead of, you weren't getting a lot of leeway when you were trying to bring up a conversation, you were just getting like anger, and like this person would like talk before they thought about it, and it wasn't like a mature adult relationship. But I think you guys probably had like really, really amazing like sexual chemistry and like a great connection. But when it came to like really being there for you emotionally and knowing how to respond to what you needed, probably wasn't really very good. And there's probably some hang-ups that this person probably still needed to learn in order to become like a really good partner. So I do think that you told them, I need more than what you can give me. But I think it's also, it's possible that you kind of like went no contact. I mean, I can't be sure, but I think, and this won't be for all of you, but I think some of you maybe like in a moment of weakness, maybe answered a phone call or a text, or I don't know, something like that from this person, possibly even like spent the night with them. So now you're like, see, that's why. And like, look at her face, and now she's like, this is not good. So I've made this like, I feel like you tried to like, you're thinking of yourself and you're trying to do the right thing for you finally, and you did, and you're like, I have to end this. It's just, I'm not getting what I need in it. I'm not getting my needs met. And then I think it's possible in a moment of weakness, you kind of like bridge that no contact rule. And like, maybe you're like sporadically even hooking up with this person still. So now you're like, now we're sleeping together still, but we have no label. We have no commitment. It's like, what's going on? What did I do? And like, sometimes like that kind of shit accidentally happens. And I think, regardless, I think that you're really frustrated and you feel like you're really thinking, okay, how are my relationships going to go from here on out? Because I'm going to make some changes, because this is not a situation that I want to be in anymore. And see, this is going to throw you for a loop again. Oh my God, you guys, you're killing me, Smalls. Okay, so this is your outcome. I don't even know what to say to this, honest to God. Okay, well, first card I have is the Six of Cups, which this is like, old loves coming back in your life, nostalgia. I mean, I actually really love this card because this card, it still has the Six of Cups, but I think, and she's hooking her up her like inner child. She's like, I love you, but this is all about like healing the past. And so then like I just all this stuff, and then I'm like, oh great, no, but see, but again, like that's the feeling, that's the general feeling I do actually get about this person. This is my rod that I use to contact spirits, but I have a horrible itch on my back, so I'm sorry. You're gonna have to deal with that. I think this is real life, okay, guys. Oh my god, that feels so much better. It was terrible. It just happened to me. It was like so itchy, I almost died. Anyways, moving on. So again, I think this is probably a good person, but their worst qualities were getting brought out within the dynamics of the relationship that you had. And I think, again, you might be kind of back at square one with this person, or like you might have seen them or like had a weak moment and text them, or who knows, spent the night and you're like, crap, this is not good. Because I still think you have feelings for this person, but you're like at a place in your life where you're like, I have to respect myself over a relationship, and that's good. And having your boundaries and drawing those boundaries are awesome, and that is going to make people respect you. And the real thing is going to make you respect yourself, and that's the real important thing. Because even if you did have weakness or whatever, I think it is really important that you like cut this person off unless he or she is willing to give you everything that you need in an adult relationship. You can't just like accept the scraps from this person. And I think that is the only way that's possible for you and this person to actually have a serious, committed, long-term relationship. I think if you keep like, answering the hey texts, that you get like once every 3 days, or like, what are you doing? I miss you. Like these generic texts that are just designed to just, see if you're still there, willing to be available to them or whatever. And I think somebody that really likes you can feel that way when you're exhibiting certain behaviors. So I think it's up to us as, women, men, whatever, to exhibit the kind of behaviors with the people that we care about, so they can see us in the way that we see and value ourselves. Because even if you really like them, you're like, oh, but I really want to see them. But if you really do care about them and you really want to be in a relationship with them, that's probably not the way to go about it. Like, I feel like they will take you for granted in that situation. So even if you've kind of like messed up your no contact, I think it's still important that you stay that way with this person if you want to be with them long term. I mean, if you don't care about being with them long term, then I think, go out with them, have a good time, you don't need a label, do your thing. But with this person, the cards are saying, if you want a long-term relationship and you want to be with them seriously, you have to uphold your boundaries, and you can't go back on them. Like, if they want to call and say, hey, I made a mistake, I want to work things out, I want to talk, what can we do? That's different, absolutely. That they're willing to invest and compromise, and that's what you need. But anyway, so I have the card of reconciliation, old love coming in, and then we have the Chariot, which is Cancer's card, and this is all about young, the shadow side. The Chariot is all about having the side of yourself that you present to the world, the side of yourself that everybody sees, and then the side of yourself that you conceal, that sometimes you don't even like to look at. But this card is saying you have to have both. The dualities have to exist together in order for you to really make strides forward. Like, she's doing everything, and it's all going to come together at the end, and it's like strength and softness and skill, and that's what it's got to be like for you. Like, you have to be willing to take that piece of yourself that will hold up your boundaries and not feel guilty about it. You shouldn't. They don't feel guilty about holding up their boundaries, and you shouldn't either, because it's not about them. It's about you saying, this is what I need in a relationship to feel happy and to feel loved and cherished. And if they can't give that to you, it's not anything personal, but that's what you need. And if they don't have that, then you're not fit compatibility wise. And they should want you to be happy. Like anybody that's with you should want to know the things that you want, because if they can't give them to you, they wouldn't want you to stay with them and be unhappy. Well, I hope that they wouldn't. So, but this is all about self-mastery. So I feel like this is saying, and then of course, for the clarity card, you have the Ace of Cups, new love. And then, but then it's here, you have your rekindling your old flame, you have your self-mastery, and then you have your new love. And I think this is saying you're frustrated, you're worn out, you're taking on all this responsibility, you're overgiving, and you are in a place in your relationship where you either are no contact, or you've broken up, or you're thinking about it. But I think you are like close to like a precipice that you know you need to take a stand for yourself, because not having reciprocity in a relationship, especially on how people feel and how much they want to do, because there's never even, it's not ever about a scorecard, but like you want the other person to want to do it, even if the actual percentage is a lot different. You want somebody that wants to invest in you, that wants to do this, that it's like, that's something that's really important to them. Like they prioritize your best interest as their own. That is what Teal Swan says. You should check out her videos. She's awesome. But anyways, so this is saying you can rekindle this love, but you have to set boundaries. You can't go against them. And then if you do that, it's going to show this person it's going to show them your value, and they're going to want it, and they're going to not want to lose you. So you're going to have a new love out of the old love. It's Esther Perel. I love her. She's great. She says like most people have 2 marriages. She says some people, the second marriage is just with the same person. So I feel like if you want to have this person back and you really look at them as a long-term partner, or somebody that you could like maybe, commit to. My dog wants to go out, but it's okay. Where was it? Here. You can't hear his little nails. He's so cute. It's if you stand your ground and you hold up your boundaries and you respect yourself, it's going to show. Other people have to respect you and hold you to that, treat you in that standard of being, and you deserve it. You don't deserve anything less. You shouldn't feel bad about it, and let the person like rise to meet you. And if they don't, you don't. I know it sounds totally like something your mom would say when you're like in the 7th grade, someone's picking on you. But if they don't like you, you're better off, because there's a million people that would die to be with you. So let people do. You value yourself, so other people will too. And if you do that, I feel like you're going to have a new love with the same person. And it's going to be different this time. And it's going to be on the road to commitment. And it's going to change them as much as it will change you. So, I'm just saying. And I was going to tell you a little bit about my system, but we're looking almost 30 minutes. So, usually head over to TikTok, but I'm going to do some videos over here too as well. I am doing I kind of discovered a new system, and I'm going to do it towards compatibility in astrology and in cards. It's really cool. It's a little complex. I don't want to get into it in this video, but I'm going to pull you guys a card, Aries through Pisces, on your person that you're dealing with. So these are really fun oracle cards that I really like to use for these. So, whoa, okay. That was a little truffle. I'm having problems right now. Okay. If all the Sagittariuses out there that are dealing with an Aries, let's see. What does Aries think about Sagittarius? Let's see. I'm not super happy with my shuffle. Third party situation. I think there's third party situation, so probably want to stay away from that one. All right. What does Taurus have to say about Aries? Karma. Like you're their karma in a good way. Like they want you. They're going to chase after you. Gemini, control. They're a little bit on the controlling side. Probably not a good idea. Cancer. Communication. Oh my God, Cancers are so communicative. They want to communicate with you. They want to text you. They want to start dating you. They're serious about you. If you're seeing a Leo, they are going to be giving you a lot of gifts, or you're going to be giving them a lot of gifts. But either way, they're really excited about this, and they're going to be putting in the time and the effort to try to get things off the ground with you. Ooh, this is so true. If you are dealing with a Virgo, they might be like just cold towards you. Regardless if they actually feel that way, because with Virgo, sometimes you just never know. They're going to act that way. So I don't know. I guess it would be up to you to decide if you want to like get in there and like tell if that's real or not. But Virgos, sometimes they're a little cold. If you are with a Scorpio, he might be like a lawyer or somebody that you would like to be seen with. He might be like famous, like even just like famous like on social media or something. Maybe he has like a lot of following. But I feel like whatever person that this is, they're like kind of like a local celebrity or maybe even a celebrity. So and it's somebody that you're gonna date. I think they're interested in you. Okay, if you are dating a fellow Sagittarius, there are obstacles in the way. I don't know. It could be, baby mama, baby daddy, just drama, just stuff happening. There's still some obstacles for you to get through. So if this person is to you worth having to get through some obstacles that still exist in the path of you being together, it's a good person. If not, you might want to be with somebody else if you kind of just want someone for dating. Okay, Capricorn, they're interested in you. They want a family with you, and they might already have kids as well. If you are dating an Aquarius, you're like their forever person. They think that you are their destiny. If you're dealing with a Pisces, you guys are dating and you're in the beginning stages and they're very interested. So I hope that you like that reading. Again, if you want a personal or you want to find out more about my system, I'm going to put a link in the bio, and you should come over to TikTok and follow me. And I will see you guys next month.